Blessings.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. Okay, God is welcoming back to mentality. Blah blah. Okay, so you can see that the user here god@heaven.com does not exist. I will have an artist, so this user does not exist, and this is me. And I have set my own subject. This can be set whatever you want, and some let's say I'm putting blah blah blah. So what we can do is just say send here, and it would actually send back the email and wait for me. And later we'll see our okay. See, I got a mail saying from God, and it says it's marked important, and it says welcome to MSIT, and it says blah blah blah.
Is there no way to see if this email is correct?
So yeah, I told you you may get something like principal@msit.edu saying you are restricted. So how do you know that it is actually coming from principal or somebody else? Okay, so this is the email, and when a normal user sees this, we will assume that God has actually sent him this, and okay, so how to know that whether it's actually sent from somebody or not? So basically this is a flaw at the protocol level. When protocol was designed long back somewhere in 60s or something, much before the internet had existed, there was this email that's just relaying. So basically there were accounts at servers, and you just send a mail to a particular server saying this is addressed to this fellow, and the relaying client would actually forward it to some other server. It's saying, okay, this fellow is not a user here, so I'm giving it to you, you forward it to somebody else, or if he's a user, you give it to his mailbox. So the problem at that time was this simple, saying that if the user is your user, the incoming that server has the account with the same username, you keep the mail for yourself. If it is not, forward it to somebody else, right? So the protocol was so simple, and they exactly implemented it as it is without actually validating who is sending and who is receiving, right? So now how to see this? So where it has come from? Basically, later on, as and when this phishing scams and stuff like this. So basically, this can be exploited in a very in a larger way. Like there you might be getting a lot of spam mails saying your bank account has been suspended. Please, we are administrator at say SBI.com, asking your password or something like that. So people can use this for forgery. This is a straightforward forgery, which is nobody, and you cannot make it out directly. So to prevent this from past, I think some 10 years, they have been more than that actually. I'm not sure of the exact date. So people have been attaching the headers. So every email has a header associated with it, and it says from which particular server the actual message originated and how it was sent, who were along the path who actually forwarded. So to get access to those details, in Gmail this feature is available with a drop down there, and you have an entry called as show original. Okay. So when I say show original, it has given me some set of headers. Okay. So yeah, it says delivered to my ID. It says received by this fellow with some ID, received by this fellow with some ID. So basically it is giving me the path from where it originated and who are the servers along the way intermediate, and finally it was delivered to my ID, right? So these are some servers. Servers are identified by their IP addresses. So these IP addresses, IPv4 addresses are unique for a given address. But there are some range of addresses which people can use for their local users. So if you have seen from within our network, we have 172 series addresses. So 172 series address is a private IP address. That means if you note down say our attendance SRS thing is 172 point something blah blah blah, and you try to enter this outside MSRIT, it won't be accessible because it is a private IP address and it will be available only within the LAN. Similarly, this 10 point series is also a private IP address. It is accessible only within the Google network. So within the Google network there will be multiple servers and there will be one entry point. Okay. The first entry point. Okay, yeah, you can see it says received from blah 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 and its IP address. Okay, so this particular server join.us, this is my server. So actually I originated the mail from my server and it came here. Okay, so this is how it works. So yeah, from the message headers you can actually make out that a guy named AAGMHVC at this server address actually sent out this mail, and within the header he has said that it is from God at heaven and to Arash AG and separate blah blah. So basically this kind of format you can establish it. Whatever you say from here is what is actually the user is going to see. Nobody is going to authenticate whether a username God at heaven actually exists or not, right? So you just send out this from colon and whatever, and it would be authenticated. Okay. So this is one of the again vulnerabilities in regular emails. Is there anything apart from this very specific which you would like to know how it works, or you have been a victim of any such attacks and you want to know about it? Is there any specific?
A video file, they make it such a way that the content won't be displayed at all. It will just display a message, even though it's the actual file size.
I did not get you again.
There will be a video file,
Yeah.
and it will be encrypted.
Yeah.
You need to go to a certain site and then reopen it. Although they managed to.
Okay. Okay, I think I will address not exactly this, but somewhat similar. Somebody has a Windows system here? Not.
2 minutes. 2 minutes.
Oh, yeah. You can switch it on. I will show you something. Okay, basically, in Windows there is a small flaw. Basically, a lot of flaws in Windows. So I recommend everybody not to use Windows and instead use Linux. It is not that Linux does not have flaws. It also has flaws. And but the thing is, when you raise a request saying that such and such flaw exists, there is a very big community which is backing up the users, and it will immediately fix the patch. It will send a patch for you, right? In Windows that does not happen. When somebody raises a flaw request, it actually goes through some 10 different teams. By the time they would have fixed it, there will be more than million systems affected. So this is one of the reasons why you should not use Windows. And the other thing is, you don't really know what is inside a Windows kernel. Whether Microsoft is actually logging our private details, relaying it somehow to their servers, what privacy concerns you have, and stuff like that, which you really don't know unless they show you the source code. Even though they have their privacy policies set up, what is the way in which you can actually, trust them and stuff like that. A lot of things, non-technical things come up, which should make you trust them and stuff like that. So I would prefer if somebody gives me saying, okay, this program does this, I would want to verify that it actually does only that much and not install a keylogger on my system. So the only way I can be sure is when I see its source code and I compile it on my own and I install it, right? So this is kind of paranoid, but still when you are dealing with some secure systems, you are supposed to be so paranoid. So you cannot help it. Okay. So yeah, the question raised was, he says some video files are there which are actually encrypted, and unless you go to some site and purchase some stuff, you won't be given the password or something to decrypt the file or watch the movie. So basically these kinds of stuff happen when new movie releases. What they do is they say that this torrent is for this movie, and thousands of people, because it was having a hype, will download that, and later only to find that they have to purchase some something, whatever, some teddy bears on some US site before you can watch the movie. So things like that happen. They won't give you the password, or they will have a specific video player to play such videos. If a person is actually encrypting the file for you and asking you to download something else in order to play that, what is the, how can I trust such a person with his player? I don't know what is the player written into. The player might as well be a spyware which will turn your computer into a bot, and he can remotely access your computer whenever he wants. So the best thing which I would advise is don't go for such videos and do not download such videos. But since this question came up, I would like to show you some interesting thing in Windows. So in Windows there is this copy command. I think at least the computer science students should know this copy command on the terminal, right? So not a control C, but copying file. You can from the command prompt you can say copy space source to destination. So what happens is there is something known as binary copy. So what this binary copy does is, when you give it two files, say the first file is a picture file, second file is an archive, say it's a zip archive in which whatever, say something which you don't want somebody else to know that it is there. Yeah, okay, girlfriend. Okay, you have a zip file which contains your girlfriend's photos or maybe your boyfriend's photos, and you don't want anybody else to know. And the other one you have a legitimate, say, cute a puppy image, and you don't want this zip file to be available to anyone. So there is this. So in Windows it has a feature which would actually let you okay, so in Windows there is this feature. So what you can do is, there is two files, you copy them in binary mode. So what exactly this binary mode is, basically every file, it will have its own header. Based on the header, the operating system or the application which will decide what kind of the file it is. So if the file is a JPEG file, there are few characters at the beginning of the file which should determine saying that file type JPEG 2000 blah blah blah. It determines that the rest of the information in that file is actually a image file, right? And when you open a zip file, the zip file will also have such similar information saying header, it is of the type file type zip, and blah blah blah, saying stuff like that. Okay, so what we'll do is, this is the situation. We have some zip file and we have a some image file, right? So let's say this zip file contains something which I don't want to show to somebody else and not let them know. This is kind of directly somewhat related to your question. So and I have this some public image which anybody can see. So what I do is when you do a binary copy, you have two different files. What I do is take the first file, place it as it is. At the end, I will take the contents from that file in binary mode. That is, there is no change in the byte ordering or basically the data which is there is not garbled up. Whatever you have here is actually copied as it is, one after the other. So the data which is present in this file is and the data which is present in this file is concatenated. Let's put one after the other without any change, right? Okay. So I do this. This is inside my reference computer. So I have okay, this is tell me where zip, and there was this zip file. So what I do is I copy binary mode this file, tell me where it cover.zip. Okay, and the next one would be my pictures.zip. Into some file. You can see. So basically what I did was, you can see the command. So I am copying in binary mode. The first image is the zip file, followed by this zip file, and I am renaming it as hidden.zip. So what happens is, the initial image is as it is. So when the Windows reads the image file, it would see that the starting portion was still a zip file, and it would show you a picture. So just let's confirm it. Yeah, so you can see that this file and this file are totally identical, right? But when you go and see their sizes, right? So tell me where is having a 59 KB file and hidden is some 103 KB. Well, where did this extra thing come from? It came from this zip file 44 KB, right? So if you give this file to anyone, on the face value of it, everybody would see this as an image file. Nobody will know that this has a zip file unless you tell them that I have added a zip file at the end of it, right? So this is one of the steganography methods. So the steganography is an advanced topic, not exactly this. Steganography is hiding the information within the picture, right? So this is kind of similar thing at a very lame level. I am creating this hidden.zip file, and this actually has my pictures.zip file, which is not supposed to be known to anybody else until they know that I have done. So when I double click this, you would still see that it's a normal Windows picture viewer would come. It's coming out. So you would actually see it's just a file. But you know that it's something is written in it.
Okay, if you got the file.
Yeah. So when you right click the file and you have open it, right? Okay, this does not have WinRAR. I want to open this with 7zip.
ಇದು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಕೊಡಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಹೋಗೋದು ವಿಂಡೋ ಓಪನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಹೋಗೋದು
Okay, so basically there is this general very famous archiving software WinRAR. So if you try to open the same zip file with this WinRAR, it will not take the first whatever the data of image is there, that's a garbage, and it will continue till you get the header of the zip file. So it will open only the zip file. So for WinRAR it is a zip file, for Windows it is a picture. So basically you force you force WinRAR to open this as an archive. Okay. So yeah, you can see that it's a zip file and it's an archive manager 7z, and when I double click this, it opens some 3 pictures. These 3 are exactly the same images that is supposed to be present also in my pictures also, right? So the same 3 files. So when you open this with an archive software, you get to know the internal contents, and when you open this with normal the lame Windows picture viewer, you get only picture without any information that there is something hidden behind this. By the way, this does not work with all the type of files. Here it is working because the picture file is not bounded on the outer side. What I mean to say is, when the picture viewer actually reads the stuff, it sees that at some point of time there is end of the image. But after that, whatever is there, it will treat it to be a meta info. A meta info is information about the data which it contains. So it would think that the zip file which is attached to it is actually some information which is nothing related to displaying the picture, but something about the picture. So that part would be conveniently ignored by the picture viewer. But when you open it with a zip manager or WinRAR, it would actually, for that, only that part actually makes sense, and rest of the part is ignored, right? So this is one of the steganography methods. Okay, thank you for this. Okay, I think we are nearing the end. It's still 5. What?
Is there any way to tell if a file that you downloaded has some hidden data?
Yeah, basically, an easy answer is no, because you don't really know whether the information is a meta information or whether it's actually part of the picture. Stronger answer would be yes, because you can actually open the file in a binary mode and you can actually go through it and see that there is a different header somewhere present somewhere down the file, and you can actually get to know the type of file. Basically, there is, I would say, a flaw in Windows. In Linux, this does not happen actually. Linux will actually see the contents of the file to determine what file type it is. Windows does not do that. It just sees the extension to decide what the file is. right? So in that way, I would say it's deploying Windows and not as such largely in Linux. Okay. I think we are nearing the end. So till what time I can extend it if people don't have any problems? 5?
If you wish, we can have another session
Next week, okay, let's see. We'll wrap up with 5, right?
That code for email sending,
Yeah.
you have written it in PHP or what?
Yeah.
Which language you
I
have
have written it in PHP. Basically, it can be done even through a telnet. So you should know a mild delay thing. You just telnet to it and give the headers. It will change forward and everything. I would actually not give you the actual code, so there will be 100 emails sent out tomorrow from somebody. So I would not give you that. But yeah, you can actually explore on your own. You know that that thing can be done. So it's up to you now to explore it. I won't, spoon feed and give you the whole code. Okay. Since I have just 5 to 10 minutes, I would like to wrap up the session. So just let's summarize what we seen today. Basically, see, to know the flaws of the system, you would have to actually study the system. When you see the source code, you would get to know what the system is actually doing. And when you know how exactly the system works, you can actually make the system work or break the system and make it not work that way, right? So this view or this perspective, if you have it and contribute to open source, you can make the world better and safer place. Similar techniques can be used by non-social elements to actually block lots of stuff and stuff. Oh, block. Yeah, I think somebody wanted to know how to bypass some access to sites. So that thing is a very simple trick to do. Basically, you should have a system outside the campus which has unrestricted access, and you basically route your request through that particular system. An very easy command to do that is sh.
Can't you use like a proxy websites?
Yeah, you can use it, but if proxy is blocked, the source from which you get the proxy would be the same source from which the block would get the proxies. So it's highly likely that the proxy sites in itself would be blocked. So an easier way around is if you have a system at home. Okay, I think I will need to go a bit detailed, but we don't have so much of time. I mean, you just assume that you know the IP address of your home system, and what you do is you have Linux running in it, and you have installed sh, right? So what you do is write sh followed by the username at the rate of the system which you want to log into, and add a small parameter -D followed by a number. This number is a port number. We will come shortly by using it. I will show you. Okay, try to be constructive and try to access something which is actually not exactly blocked, but you don't have privilege to it. Say IEEE site.
Explorer. What is Explorer?
Yeah. Okay, so I think most of you would know about IEEE. It's a very big organization, mostly for interaction between engineers, and lots of the latest publications and stuff come from IEEE, and it's very good to be part of IEEE so that you know the latest happenings in your field, and you get to research and do the stuff. So that is pretty cool. IEEE, I think our college has access, right?
Yeah, I do.
ASM?
ASM where?
No, not.
But within college you have IT only one computer on
Yes, that is what I mean. We should have a phone computer. Okay, I'm complete. But do we have download privileges?
Yeah.
We have. Yeah. ASM? Yeah. Sure. Okay, ASM is for computing machineries. It's kind of similar to IEEE, but only for computer science engineers. Again, it's very good to be part of ASM because you get to network people who are like-minded, and a lot of this organization is actually solely responsible for a lot of improvements in computer science field. So let me do a search or something. Some paper, let me try to know. Okay, basically the thing is, okay, you can think it this way. I'm right now not connected to college, but college has access to ASM journals and IEEE journals. So I don't think actually you can do this, but still, this is one of the ways to visualize it. If you have a system which is present within the campus and is accessing the net from within the campus, and you are outside the campus and you want to have a privilege to download your ASM file. So what you do is search into your local college. For example, I am logging on to my IITK machine and I am opening a port. So what this does is, it will let me in and it will open a port in my local system, and that port is 999. Okay, so let me in and it opened a command prompt. But along with the command prompt, I had specified a hyphen capital D and a port number, right? So what I can do now is